Hey, what's up? It's Daniel Barrett from AdWords Nerds.com, and in this video, we're going to be talking to Andrew Newlon. How did Andrew go from no business experience whatsoever to doing 139 deals in two small markets in 2021? Turns out it's a combination of direct mail, really great follow-up, online ads, and building a killer team. Let's jump straight to the video. I am here with Andrew Newlon from Ozarks housebuyers.com. Andrew, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
For people that don't know you, aren't familiar with what you're doing over at Ozarks House Buyers, who are you? What's your business? What kind of investing do you guys do?
Yeah, we are a small real estate investment company in Springfield, Missouri. So that's the southwest part of Missouri, the Ozarks, in Lubbock, Texas, on the west side of Texas. We buy a bunch of rental properties. We do some fix and flips and we wholesale properties as well. And so this year, I think we did 139 deals and
Wow, awesome.
in both markets for 2021. I see it more now, but a few years ago, I think it was normal to get into the business, do all the work yourself. You take the phone calls, you look at the houses, you put it under contract, you're working on the houses, and you still have traditional people like that. It's that concept of like, what can I step out of? Like, we can really structure this business. I'm the same way. I have no business background at all in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
I quickly realized, like, if I can just get the right people on the team, train them what to do, then we can repeat this at a higher scale.
There's so much more competition from both the top and the bottom, right? You've got huge hedge funds entering the space, iBuyers, whatever. So many more people getting into investing. And for the type of investor that I work with, the type of investor that like you and I are going to know, who want to do, 100 deals a month, but aren't necessarily looking to be the CEO of Hyperglobal Megacorp. It's how do you create a work environment that attracts that valuable talent with something other than pure salary, right?
I don't think it comes down to the money. I'm sitting here thinking, I've got several people on our team that have taken a decrease in salary or hourly wage, whatever it might be, because it was worth getting out of the position they were in. I'm a part of a team where my voice is heard and cared about and asked for, and I get to help build this. I leave town for a week, come back, and there's something new in the company. They've implemented a new process, a new system, new software, or something. And those people get excited. They get, they like it. And then you start putting into like, so one of our core values is to impact others. And so when we start making a difference in other people's lives and they get to choose that difference, they get to choose who we're going to impact and how we're going to allocate those funds or man hours, or whatever it is. It really is a lot different than that corporate feel. You come to the office where these people are super, super excited about what they're doing. It makes you excited versus a bunch of people that are just checking in, checking out. No one shows up right at 8:30 and no one leaves right at 5 o'clock in our office. And that just does not happen. It's a great feeling.
What are you guys doing marketing wise right now? You can keep it high level, but where are the buckets that you're using and what's been working well? What isn't working well?
So the two buckets that we've always used and never stopped is direct mail and online ads. We've always stuck with it. We know that there's always been load times. There's times that direct mail just doesn't hit right. And same thing with ads and with you guys or Facebook and stuff. We go, a month or two, like, man, just didn't do well. But we look at it as a long-term investment. That's how we measure our ROI as long-term. We never look at anything less than a 90-day window. We want to look 90 days all the way up to a year and say, okay, for the last 12 months, we're getting, or we at least see 3 times our money back on this. So those are always nonstop running in the background. They're hands off. I think at the end of the day, that's the one thing that you can consistently rely on to predict those numbers. We do some outbound texting. Not a big fan of it. Same thing as cold calling. I think, I don't want to be on the other end of that as well. I think there's so many people out there in that space that, fortunate for our marketplace, both of them, there's not near as much competition. Our sellers aren't getting 24 text messages a day. So we do when things are slow. We'll do some outbound cold calling, texting. We work our system very well. So these that we've talked to, constant follow up with them. We did TV ads last year. It was fruitful. But it was too much. Too many leads. We couldn't qualify quick enough to get the right people. The volume of phone calls caused us not to answer the phone calls from our good buckets. So You're answering all these calls for people that, yeah, they saw us on TV and they'll sell their $500,000 house for $500,000. Uh, we couldn't call the seller back that really needed our services and needed to sell his house quickly. So
Can you give me a sense of the general lead quality in these, like how it relates to the different
yeah,
buckets? You've got like mail and you've got online ads, you've got TV, and
yeah.
then you've got kind of the cold outreach, whether it's cold calling or texting. Do those feel very different in terms of
Yeah.
how they react, how they close?
It's so much so that we rank them in priority when we call people back. Our goal is to have above 90% live answer rate. So when 90% of people call and we try to answer it live.
Right.
But it is always happening, especially if the whole team's on a meeting or something. So we actually rank it. Website leads get first priority day in and day out. We want to get back to the list in minutes. And then direct mail. And then say if we did turn on TV ads again, that they'd be very last. So it's kind of like anything coming off our web forms is like a sniper shot. Like we are pretty certain this person knows who we are, what we do, and what we offer. And so we want to get back to them. They're a qualified lead, 70% of the time. That's an arbitrary number, but it's a high percentage. Direct mail, we do have to weed through a lot of people calling like, hey, take me off your list, or hey, I got your postcard, what's this about? But most people, because we put our website on it, they've gone and looked at who we are. They kind of have an idea. They already need 4 other postcards and stuff. So we start to broaden it a little bit. We get more people to talk to. They're not all deals, but they are, they're targeted too. I mean, they're getting our message for a reason. They're on our list for one thing or another. TV, you're speaking to everyone, every single person. And it's really hard to get your message across what you do, what you offer in 30 seconds.
At AdWords Nerds, we very much see an incredibly strong correlation between clients that follow up often and well, and the clients that close a lot and have a lot of success with online advertising, right? So how do you think about the follow-up process? And then once you've followed up, how do you think about building that relationship with the seller?
Follow up is beyond important. Like you can't not, we put a price tag on every lead that comes in. We have a cost per lead for a company. And if you don't follow up the person, you're literally writing that check and just throwing it in a trash can. 98% of the people we buy houses from are facing a distress situation in their life. It's not always about the house. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's something else going on in their life. Because of that, calling Andrew back with Ozarks house buyers is not their priority list to do that day. In fact, when they fill out that web form or they did call up that postcard, it was probably just the prime time for them to get it done. It was 10:30 at night. They just logged off of Facebook. They were like, let me look this person up and see what the heck. I'll send my information. But the following day, they had to face that distress situation all day long. And I just was not the top of the list to call me back.
Right.
And so if I take that for face value and say, hey, they're not really motivated, then we lose out on a deal because so many times, we have a whole entire bucket, what we call attempt to contact. So, I mean, there's a large percent of people that call into us and we didn't get hold of our web forms that we don't come back. We don't ever give up on these people. And they're hearing from us daily for weeks and then weekly forever. And there's a large amount of them eventually say, hey, I'm so sorry. I know you've been trying to get a hold of us, but yeah, I am ready now. For them, it's a big process. And to us, it's easy. You buy a house and sell a house and we think it's all done within 24 hours. Right. All these people sit on it for months and months, if not years before they finally, make that decision. So if you're not doing it, you're throwing that money away.